Evolution rarely throws away a successful invention. So why did it strip humans of something that almost every other mammal has kept for over 200 million years? Look around the animal kingdom. Bears have fur. Wolves have it. Lions, zebras, chimpanzees, even elephants, despite living under the blazing African sun, are still covered with hair. Yet humans became the strange exception. We're the only ape that has to wear clothes just to survive. At first, the answer seemed obvious. Our ancestors left a cool forest for the hot African savanna. Less shade meant more heat, so losing fur helped keep the body cool. Simple, except one problem ruined that explanation. If heat alone was the answer, why didn't zebras lose their fur? Or antelopes? Or lions hunting under the same sun? Suddenly, what looked like a solved mystery became one of evolution's greatest puzzles. Scientists eventually realized the answer might not begin with fur at all. It began with sweat. Humans are among the very few mammals that cool themselves by sweating across almost their entire body. Most animals rely mainly on panting, which works well, but only until they start overheating during prolonged activity. That single difference may have changed the course of human evolution. Imagine standing on the African savanna nearly 2 million years ago. The ground burns beneath your feet. The nearest water is miles away. In the distance, an antelope bolts the moment it sees you. It disappears. But you don't chase it with speed. You simply keep walking. The antelope sprints until its muscles overheat. It stops to pant, then runs again. Minutes later, it must stop once more. You never stop. While the animal struggles to dump heat, millions of sweat glands cool your body every second. In extreme heat, humans can produce more than a liter of sweat in an hour, allowing you to keep moving as the sun grows hotter. Eventually, something remarkable happens. The fastest runner isn't the one that's still standing. You are. This strategy still exists today. It's called persistence hunting, and some hunters in southern Africa have successfully exhausted antelope simply by refusing to quit. Humans didn't become extraordinary because we could outrun other animals. We became extraordinary because we could outlast them. And that endurance may have been powerful enough to make one of evolution's greatest inventions no longer worth keeping. But every evolutionary advantage came with a cost. Without thick fur, our ancestors were exposed to intense ultraviolet radiation. Evolution answered with darker skin, rich in melanin, protecting against UV damage while still allowing efficient cooling through sweat. It seemed like the mystery was solved, until scientists asked one more question. If sweating explains why humans lost their fur, why didn't other animals evolve the same way? Zebras run across the same grasslands. Lions hunt in the same heat. Chimpanzees live in tropical forests. Yet none became hairless. Clearly, something else was shaping evolution. The next clue wasn't hiding in the climate. It was hiding inside our ancestors' fur. Parasites. Imagine wearing the same thick coat every day of your life. Now imagine that coat crawling with lice, fleas, and ticks. For early humans, fur wasn't just insulation. It was the perfect hiding place for parasites carrying disease. Now imagine one person born with slightly less body hair. Not hairless, just a little less. Parasites become easier to spot, easier to remove, harder to hide. That tiny advantage could mean fewer infections, better health, and more surviving children. Then researchers discover something even more surprising. Humans aren't truly hairless. In fact, we have almost as many hair follicles as chimpanzees. The difference is that most of our body hair became incredibly short, fine, and nearly invisible. Evolution didn't erase our fur. It shrank it. Your body still carries a blueprint of that furry ancestor. Even goosebumps are evidence. When you're cold or frightened, tiny muscles pull each hair upright. In furry mammals, that traps warm air and makes the animal appear larger to a threat. On us, it barely moves a few tiny hairs. A survival tool became little more than an evolutionary souvenir. By now, our ancestors weren't simply surviving differently. They were beginning to look different too. And that may have changed not only who lived, but who found a mate. As body hair became thinner, healthy skin became easier to judge. Cuts, infections, parasites, and disease were far more visible. Some scientists think this may have influenced mate choice. Individuals with healthier-looking skin may have been preferred, gradually reinforcing the trend toward less body hair alongside the other evolutionary pressures. Even then, evolution never removed hair completely. The hair on your head shields your scalp from the sun. Your eyebrows divert sweat away from your eyes. Eyelashes block dust and insects. Even the fine hairs covering your body help you sense the slightest touch before something reaches your skin. Evolution didn't throw fur away. It kept only the parts that still mattered. So why did humans lose their fur? The honest answer is that no single theory explains everything. Sweating gave our ancestors extraordinary endurance. Fewer parasites may have reduced deadly infections. Mate choice may have strengthened the trend. Together, these pressures slowly transformed our species over millions of years. Evolution doesn't build perfection. It builds compromises. Every adaptation solves one problem while creating another. The next time sweat runs down your face or goosebumps rise across your skin, remember what you're seeing. They're not random quirks of the human body. They're living fossils, echoes of a time when surviving another day depended on staying cooler, avoiding parasites, and enduring longer than anything else on the African savanna. Our ancestors didn't lose their fur because evolution made a mistake. They lost it because, generation after generation, living without it made survival just a little more likely. And millions of those tiny advantages eventually created the species looking back at itself today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you think someone else would enjoy this too, share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.